Welcome to Music MESSE 2016. I'm Jonathan from Littlelabs, and I want to talk about the Monotor, our latest product, which is a headphone amp that we wanted to make useful for the professional world, because it's really an audiophile headphone amp of the highest quality, but we wanted an audiophile headphone amp that's designed for the pro world. It has some interesting, useful features. It's such as has a mini jack and a major jack, or a 1/4 inch and a 3.5 millimeter mini, and these are two separate outputs that are separately powered. One of the unique features of it technically is that it uses a single amplifier stage per output on here and nothing else active in the circuit path. It's as close to a straight wire circuit path as you could possibly have. All the summing is done passively, and you have extensive mono capabilities. You have stereo reverse, stereo left plus right, stereo left, that means left in both ears, stereo right means right in both ears, and a unique feature for checking phase called stereo left minus right, and that way you only hear what's out of phase. Everything is in phase is not in the circuit. Now you have a stepped level attenuator on here that has a unique feature of these two little holes on each side, and you can bypass the level attenuator with a Q-tip by clicking in a little push switch in there. And you go, why would you want to do that? Well, what you can do is you can send to one channel in mono, you can send the Q mix that you have for your whatever you're recording, and then you can send the artist on the left channel, being his guitar or his vocal if he's a vocalist, and the artist could use this as his basically more me volume control if he didn't bypass it. But also for the audiophiles out there who want to use this, if they're using, for instance, like an Oppo 105 player that has a very high quality balanced DAC in it, and it comes out balanced without a balanced chip. It actually comes out of the DAC balanced. Those have a very high quality volume control built into the DAC. So you don't want to go through two volume controls being redundant. And this way, if you bypass this, what's better than a volume control? No volume control. You can't get more high-end than that. So that way you're running the volume control through the DAC itself. Now on the rear of the unit, I'll just show you, I can show you a picture here. There's dual jacks coming in, and they're either XLR or TRS, but there's another set of TRS that are in parallel with these jacks. And what's good about that is you can, for instance, bring out your powered monitors. You can plug into that, and then that can continue on to your powered monitors. So you can basically monitor in the chain. Now another unique feature is that little jack there. Now that jack there allows you to have, for instance, if you're especially rappers tend to like to listen to mixes on their phone. It allows you to take their headphone out of their phone and plug into that. You can have the Monotor plugged into the output of, let's say, your SSL console or whatever you're using, and have your mix be mixing, and he could listen to the mix of the song he likes, the new Rihanna hit single or something. He can be listening to that and then listen to the mix coming off the console. And you can hear them both, and he can compare the two. But another unique feature of that is, since it comes in and it bypasses all of this, it sums with the signal, but it bypasses all the mono capability. And where that comes in use is for Talkback, because you can come out of that with if you use a lavalier mic, and if you use a cheap mic pre, you can even use like a $20 Behringer. It comes out with a little headphone output. You can plug into that. And let's say you have a bunch of these daisy chained, you can use them to talk back to people. But probably the best feature about this thing is it sounds amazing. The regulators used in this thing, the linear regulators used, are absolutely the lowest noise in the industry. They're like completely state-of-the-art linear regulators. So it takes the power that's feeding it and makes it dead quiet. Now, the output stage on it, too, is something that wasn't even available till January of this year. It is so quiet that you could have it on so when the music came on, it would literally take your head off. But it's the dynamic range from being completely quiet. There's not even a hint of hiss on it, even at the very fullest volume. So you actually got to be careful with that. But where that's exceptionally great is for hearing like tail end reverb, fine details like, I don't know if many people realize this, in the last song of Eclipse on Dark Side of the Moon, did you realize there's a Beatles song playing, the strings of a Beatles song are playing in the background? I had listened to that album probably 10,000 times, and then when I listened to it on the Monotor, it's the first time I noticed there was actually a Beatles song playing at the end of a Pink Floyd record. That's the kind of detail you can hear with it. Other things like John Bonham's squeaky kick drum pedal. You hear that on it clear as day. I highly recommend it with some of the better quality phones. I like it with the Sennheiser HD600s. They're my favorite. Now, a lot of headphone amps have a problem driving the HD600s because they have a higher impedance and they don't get up to the proper volume at that impedance. This easily drives an HD600, but it also drives the lower impedance, more common 32 ohm phones. Another thing the headphone heads are always concerned about is the output impedance. The output impedance of the driver we use is 0.6 ohms. That's 0.6 ohms. That's basically 0 ohms. Most other output impedances are usually 10, on a good case, and some as much as 120 ohms, which is actually an AES standard. So it can drive easily with a very nice dampening factor with any phone. Drive anything very capably. That's pretty much it. Oh, it can, one other thing, you can rack, you see this rack here? You can rack mount it if you need to rack mount it in a rack mount situation. So that's another little feature, and it's in a beautiful white pearl color that we used to do everything in black. Now we're doing this in white. And that's it.
Is white the new black for you then?
White is the new black.
So next question.
What?
When are we going to get it and how much?
Oh, well, I'm here at SEA Vertrieb, which is my distributor in Germany, but it'll be available at any of my dealers. The MAP price for it, well, the list price is $600 US. The MAP price is $540. So you'll find it anywhere between $540 and $600. And if this was to sell in the, we're pushing this towards the pro world. If this was in, we're pushing it to the audiophile world, this would have been triple that for what's inside of it. But we want to get it with the pros, and the pros tend to want to spend about $600, and that's what it costs.